Come here. Guys, today I'm coaching up Sam Sulek. Don't go anywhere. All right, great, you guys are still here. We are coaching up Sam Sulek's chest day. Now, make things very clear. Sam can do whatever Sam wants, and he's gonna get the physique that Sam is going to get. But for you guys, I'm gonna show you some things that you can do a little differently that are gonna optimize your training. Let's get into it. Don't go anywhere. All right. Okay, first exercise, we have a vertical chest press machine, and we're gonna watch his reps. Now, the way he's set up is as soon as he starts, there's already tension on the lengthen contraction, or lengthen part of the lift, which is really good. I mean, Sam must be listening to people right now. Look at that set, it looks perfect. I love it. Good negative on the way back. We got a nice stretch for a second, and we got a nice, concentric or a positive contraction as well too, at the shortened contraction, sorry. So, really good. Okay, there you go. We're getting a little breakdown here. Intensity's high, love it. And we are losing our base. And as you see, every time he has his hard press here, his feet are lifting up. And he's still doing a good job getting it up. Great job here. And we're kind of resting at the bottom, but we still want to be under tension at the bottom. And again, lifting his legs up again. Okay, so great set. And he'll probably change this. I'm hoping he sees, maybe he does, but remember what I always say, from floor to core is for a reason. Guys, we need this. This right here, all this. Like, this is what we need to start everything. Starts from here, all right? We can generate force, we can generate power, we can generate leverage from the ground. Now, if the shortest distance from A to B is a straight line, then your shortest distance to maximum gains and sustainable results is my ebook. Get the final diet and the ultimate push-pull legs training ebook right now in the link in the description below. When we're talking floor to core, I mean that, so I don't have the same machine, but this is basically this is almost the same thing. I'm gonna do a press with the cables to give you an idea. Now, when we're pressing from the ground, when we're pressing period, we need the floor to create leverage, so when we're pushing, we have something to help push against. When I'm pushing, when I'm coaching, and I'm saying, pretend you're pushing yourself into the bench. Now, that idea came from a few things. Number one, my background in football as well too. When we block, we're here, we're low, and we're doing this. If we want to generate power, if someone's coming in really fast, like if we need to block somebody, what we don't want is this, because broken arm, or you just don't have a good base. Being down here and be able to basically push back here gives us way more power and stability right from the ground and on the way up. Now I can do the same thing, but now I'm basically sitting down and doing that. That force is coming from the ground. So when we're doing a set and you're getting to the end of your set, he was doing an awesome job right from the start. A couple big things doing right, setup's good. He's pushing, great movement, pushing out, chest is coming up, he's stretching, he's gonna get a nice good squeeze all the way through, great squeeze, great stretch, great squeeze. Now, when it's getting harder, and this is a very common mistake people make altogether, is the feet come off the ground. It's not gonna help with leverage. It's actually gonna create instability in terms of like the more balance that you don't have anymore by having your feet off the ground. Because if I wanna push myself back, I can, just with my back being on the bench. If I want more power, I wanna be here. Now, when I'm pressing, you can see when I'm pressing that my quads are on, because I'm pushing into the floor while I'm pushing myself back. And I have more stability and leverage when I'm pushing from here. Forward, if I lift my legs off the ground, I lose that. So when I'm here, it's gonna make it actually harder for me to push than actually have my feet on the ground. So everything Sam did was great. At the end of the set, when things are getting harder, you wanna like dig into the ground even more. So just make that little change to everything that Sam was doing, but make sure we keep our feet on the ground at all times when we're pressing. Just like in football, you leave your feet, you're in some trouble. You're not gonna get in trouble in the gym, you're just not gonna have enough power when you take your feet off the ground, so leave your feet on the ground. Okay, all right, so we're gonna set this up the way he has it for mine. I'm gonna go up to here. Why am I just injuring myself left and right?
One eternity later.
All right, so the machine I used them before too, it uses air pressure. So basically the faster you go, it kind of like, it gives out more tension. So you can't just kind of like sling that weight around. So the more force you generate, the harder the resistance is. So it's a pretty cool machine. It's useful. What's more important is range of motion. So let's go. Cool. So good job when he's doing from basically like almost like a high to low, working like the lower pec. I make the point of making sure that we're a little bit of a hinge and not standing straight up, which he does a good job of that. Now, again, a couple things doing here. Here's what he's doing good. We're getting a nice stretch at the top. And then again, like, you know, Sam's gonna continue to do the rep into the length and contraction. So he's gonna, you know, power those out when he's getting those short, lengthened partials at the top. But you can see as the set goes and as harder it gets, we start to lose range of motion. So again, I say this a lot, what the genetically gifted people do, let them do, because they'll make gains that you probably won't make. Just saying that. So for you guys, I want you to make sure that we're consistent in the good basic fundamentals to make sure you're getting the most out of your training. So first things first. Hey guys, check it out. Only 40% of you are subscribed to the channel. So help the channel out. Subscribe to the channel and hit that notification button so the next time I drop a video, you'll be the first ones to get it. Back to the show. Good job. What he's doing right is he's giving us a little bit of a hinge, and he's going from here, and we start off with a good stretch up here. Right now, I have a good stretch, right? So if I'm standing up, not much of a stretch. If I hinge down a little bit, which he does, I get a nice stretch in my pec, which we want. Now, he's expressing, making sure that you squeeze here. And another wrong with squeezing here. If you're gonna coach squeeze here, I'm also gonna want you to coach stretch here. More muscle hypertrophy, aka more muscle growth, all the good stuff. The only problem I have with this is, again, when we're talking about full range of motion, when we're doing any type of exercise when it comes to chest, the whole job of the chest is to bring this entire arm in like this. Basically this bone, if I cut this off right here, it takes this bone and pulls it in like this. That's where full range of motion is from here. He's doing a very common mistake, which is kind of like the bear hug from here. Yeah, you get more power to really pull yourself in, but we're missing out on gains because we're here. Look how much more I can get out of this exercise by doing this. And the chest is that much more squeezed, right? We're getting a full range of motion from here, a stretch, and then a pushing all the way down to squeezing here. That makes this exercise that much more effective than being here. And as he continues to go, the harder it gets. He starts out here, but the harder it gets, and he's down, it's getting to more into this and to this. And that happens very common when it comes to this exercise. We want to make sure that when we're doing this, we're getting a nice stretch, chest is still high, and pushing down to a straight arm so we get the full range of motion right here in the pec, and then coming up. And then if we can't get down there anymore, then we have a great position here to just ride that lengthen contraction from here, right? So again, stretch from here, push all the way down, straight arms, almost like you're pressing in front of you, and then up, stretch, press. Stretch, press and squeeze. Keep the squeeze, keep the stretch, just get those arms from here to get a better overall contraction into the chest. Let's go to the next exercise. All right, so basically the same exercise, but we're bent over a little more. He's increased the height of the cables. And then now he's getting a little bit more of a lengthened, now he's getting a little bit more of his arms getting straighter at the bottom. I love it. He's so intense. Lay off that air. And do it again. His intensity in this exercise are great. And again, what I'm liking about this is that we're getting some great stretch at the top. So kind of explaining this exercise, because this is actually one of my favorite chest flies to do, especially if I'm doing like a superset. So I like sometimes doing a superset like this where you are here, right? And we're getting full range of motion from this, more pec, basically underneath here. We're working this area of the chest So from here, us being on a little bit of a hinge, that's the muscle we're working. If I get all the way down like this, right, I'm basically kind of doing the same thing as if I was like this and pulling the weight across this way. I'm just changing the posture or body positioning to have more leverage. Because if I get over like this, I'm gonna have more power and leverage because of my overall body weight is able to counterbalance myself here so I can press down here. Now, he's doing a good job again, stretching here and then getting down here. He's actually getting more range of motion in terms of like getting full adduction. Again, when you're doing this, make sure that we keep the integrity of our range of motion consistent. So nice stretch from here and then pushing down, straightening the arms. In all exercises, on all flies, I don't care what kind of machine you're on, whether it's cables, pec deck, dumbbells, doesn't matter. We want to finish off with the arm like this. Here's full range, here is not full range. So think the more your elbows are bent, the less you're getting when it comes to full range of motion. Now, getting to here is really good. We want to finish off here.
Another funky movement, but squeeze-wise, this is nuts. I'm just gonna grab the 40s, hold them in front of myself like so, and use just my chest to pull my arm here. So not a big stretch like you get from a fly. So I wouldn't say this is a complete chest movement, but at the end of the workout, just trying to get as pumped as crazy, or as pumped as possible. I do like these. And this is a perfect pre-exhaust. If there's like an incline Smith machine, I would love a set of these pre-exhaust, then jump onto the incline Smith. I'm talking just one plate.
All right, let's watch.
Burn out like that. But this will just be a straight set.
Okay, so we have the infamous Sam Selleck crossover dumbbell fly. Sulik. Either way. So the only problem with this exercise is, again, he's almost the opposite of what we coach in terms of emphasizing what part of the range of motion we want to create or generate more muscle growth, which is basically, he's really focusing on the shortened contraction, right? Shortening of the muscle is when we're in full range like this. Lengthening the muscle is when we're back here. So think about it. My chest basically is attaching to here. If I go like this, I'm stretching the muscle, and when I go like this, I'm shortening the muscle. So if we want to create an overall better, fuller chest, we want to get all the way back here and finish all the way over here. And then when we can't, we want to spend more time in that lengthen, because that's when we get more muscle group. So if we want to fail anywhere, we're going to fail in the stretch. But the exercise isn't that bad if it was hitting the place that we needed to hit the most, or emphasizing that part of the contraction. The only problem with his is that it's not. So yes, at the end of his exercise, he's, his chest is probably just beat up. It's already primed. So anything he does bent like this, and he's kind of just doing this, it's like, to be honest, like, there's one of the exercises that for him, I wish he would just do a little different, because a lot of guys are gonna watch and then you'll be like, I'm gonna do what Sam Selleck does. Sam Selleck can do whatever he wants, because Sam Selleck is naturally gifted, and then he's enhanced as well too. So he can do these all day long and grow his chest, but for some people like yourselves watching, some of you guys, I'm not saying all, are not gonna benefit from just doing this. Because again, yeah, maybe the chest is getting to its full range sort of here, but we're missing this part here. And to be honest, when it comes to the limiting factor for this movement, it's gonna be my bicep getting tired being in this position doing this. So it's supposed to be a chest exercise, or even like a pec minor, or even, I don't know, a anterior delt exercise. My delts aren't gonna get the most as neither is my pec, just being in this range. So if you wanna make this exercise dope, here's what you do. Get yourself on the bench, put on a slight incline, almost like we're doing bicep curls. And right here, right, feet in front, because we want room. Now from here, I have a great stretch from here. And I go from here and all the way up. There's tension on my chest is like crazy. And on the way down, a nice stretch. Same arm on the other side here, and then coming down with a big stretch. You can even do it at the same time and just do this from here, and then stretch down, and then up here, and then stretching back. That is gonna make that exercise that much better. So if you guys watch this video, basically does that exercise, and he goes back and does the vertical chest press again, and a couple sets of the cable flies come from high to low. Make those changes. Take some suggestions that I've given you guys with his exercise. His exercise is good. He's doing a minimal, only 3 exercises, and he's smashing his chest. Intensity is extremely high, which is great. He's getting good stretch in the length of contraction, but the only thing to really change in this is, guys, make sure that we get a nice stretch and then full range on the way down, making sure from floor to core we sit grounded in the floor, pushing from the floor to get a little more leverage and power when we're pressing. And then again, when we're doing our dumbbells, a nice stretch at the bottom. Sit in the bench, get in a better position, stretch your chest all the way up. And then you have a full, more well-rounded chest day using some of Sam Sulik's chest day as well too. Anyway, so I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure you guys like, subscribe, and share. You know I'm gonna come out with that telling it is transparent, vulnerable truth. And guys, for coaching, JONNI.com, and make sure the description below for those discount codes and promo codes that'll save your life or change your life for the better. And guys, I'm on Instagram and TikTok. Send me your progress pics, your training pics, and your video clips, and I will post it for you. Because you know how it is, iron sharpens iron, progressive overload your life. In the meantime, keep dream chasing. Peace.